Hello, and welcome everybody to a bonus episode of What's Your Issue? I'm Dara Lane, and I have with me the beloved Troy McKeety. Troy, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing the best I can.
And that's all we can ask of you in these times.
Mhm.
TM.
To give in honor of Lindsay, I am wearing a stolen fur. I'm draped in a fur that I stole from a coat check, and I'm
Mhm.
just praying that nobody confronts me about it.
What was the other thing? There was a stolen necklace, right?
Yeah, it was like a really expensive necklace.
Ugh, her stealing days. Those were fun.
I know. I miss when they would be like, "You can't let her in your house." Like she'll steal trinkets if she goes to the bathroom. It's like, Jesus Christ.
She was her own little bling ring.
She was. Uh,
So today we are going to start off with a little teen quiz as a little amuse bouche to the full meal of Lindsay Lohan, because on our Patreon we asked if anybody had any questions about Lindsay, about the movie The Canyons from our episode a few episodes back, where we covered the New York Times Magazine article about the canyons and Lindsay's crazy antics. And so we have some Patreon questions that we'll answer. But first, let's get to know each other, Troy.
First, I need to know, Dara, do you like sweeties or jokers?
Okay, so I want to see if I can predict what my answer will be, because I would think I like sweeties, but I have recently discovered that my type is big loud party boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say that mine will be that I like jokers. I like a funny man. I like a
Do you like a
goofball.
big party boy, like a big boy party boy like I do? Like a like a David Harbour type?
You're like, "Do you like a man that when he brings home a bag, you have to check to see if there's condoms and butt plugs in it from the night before?" Or I like a man that has a little coke residue on his nose. I like a man that I gotta worry about if he's out too long, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like what's his name? From Eastbound and Down. Uh
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my that's the guy who I'm like,
Dar's type is Eastbound and Down / like Dan Connor. Like you want like Dan Connor to have like a little bit of a drinking problem and like a party boy problem, and that's your type.
Yes. Dan Connor is a man you marry. You know, he has his party boy phase, um, but he's really channeled it into working on his motorcycle. And
Yeah.
he's a great dad. He's calmed down, but he will have a heart attack someday, because we still can't get him off his hoagies and beer.
Yeah. While he's shooting hoopies, he will unfortunately suffer a stroke or a heart attack for sure.
Exactly.
Uh, I don't wanna I wanna save the the reveals for these men for the end, but
Mhm.
just know our choices are it's a buffet of absolute insanity.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Do you wanna go first?
Sure.
Okay. See if you and your friend go for the same type of guys with this revealing quiz. Okay, here we go. Hard to tell where you start. Okay. You like it when your crush is unpredictable and really loud. It totally makes you roar with laughter.
Okay. That's actually tough, because now I'm thinking of, like, back when I had crushes. No, I guess, yeah, I did. I liked them loud and annoying.
Okay. You love the Joker type who plays safe pranks on people and is sort of a pest.
No, I
No.
hate pranks. Pranks disgust me.
Okay, that's a hard no. You love a guy who expresses himself in different ways, like coloring his hair or wearing eccentric clothes. You dig someone who's not afraid to be a little different.
True.
Yeah, I think that's very true for you.
You know how my husband dresses.
Yeah. The guy you swoon for doesn't usually hang with the guys or play sports. He spends his life focused on making you happy, no matter what.
I guess that's I guess that's true as well, based on my current situation.
Okay, do you wanna know the guy that you got?
Yes.
You got the dreamy dude, the Josh Hartnett type. You got Josh Hartnett. It says, guys who are really mellow and modest turn your head. You love a dude who's always thoughtful. Caring puts your needs first. You're not into loud macho guys at all. The sweeter, the better.
You know, I guess it's true. I guess my crushes are just for the big loud party boys. Like I wanna do illicit drugs with them at a party and have them compliment me and validate me and then like but that's the extent of it.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes. The fact that you got Josh Hartnett out of this group is like you really won the lottery. You should play the
I
lotto today.
Oh, I love that man. Now I shall return the favor.
Okay.
You like it when your crush is unpredictable and really loud. It totally makes you roar with laughter.
Yeah, I'd say that it's hard for me just in general to be around people who don't have a sense of humor. Like, I just kind of build a wall immediately when a person, like, isn't fun or funny or, like,
Yeah.
appreciates funny. So, that one is a definite yes for me.
Okay. You love the Joker type who plays safe pranks on people and is sort of a pest.
I do not like pranks
Mhm.
at all. I like a person who, like, is a little takes the piss out of people a little bit. Is that
Okay.
the same thing? Like,
Well,
when they say
I
sort of
think
a pest?
I think it could be interpreted in 2 different ways. I think it could be someone who takes the piss out of people, but I think it could also be the type of guy who, like, needs to make it all about him and, like, doesn't know when to shut up and is,
Yeah.
maybe, like, making fun of people when it's like, "No, you're like, don't focus in on that person, like, lay out," like, you know?
Yeah, it's giving like, not socially aware, and that to me is, like, probably my
No.
number one, "Ooh, I don't like that." So, I'd
Yeah.
hate for us to have the same answers, but I'm gonna say no.
Okay. You love a guy who expresses himself in different ways, the coloring of his hair, eccentric clothes. You dig someone not afraid to be different.
That's an absolute yes. I love a man with unique style. I think that a man it's almost like we're a straight man, the gayer you would perceive them to dress, the more I perceive them to be straight because they are
Mhm.
comfortable to be themselves versus a guy who's, like, trying to dress all macho and shit. Those are the gayest men. Those are the
Now
most,
I will
un
say
insecure.
that that is not always true because in our own experience, but it's usually true.
Yes, in our own experience. Yes, yes.
Uh, okay. The guy you swoon for doesn't usually hang with guys or play sports. He spends his life focused on making you happy no matter what.
I wanna say yes. Like, we have the exact same answers. I'm gonna say no to that one just so that I can see, like, where else this goes.
Yeah. Also,
Um
I don't know, is it possible like, I feel like you could like a guy who plays sports and
Mhm.
I actually think this is a genuine no for you because I don't think you would like a guy whose whole deal is making you happy, like
Yeah. Like, that's, like, kind of repulsive to me. I want a
exactly.
man that has his own life, his own friends. Like, I don't need to know where you are all the time, and I don't need us to have all the same friends. And if you're off playing hoopies and throwing
Or
the pig's
rugby.
skin
What if he's a rugby
oh
boy?
my god, I didn't think about the sport. Oh my god, what if it's tennis? I
Woo!
love it.
Okay. I'm glad I could talk you into it.
Yes, I love it.
Your crush would rather play in a rock band than become a doctor or lawyer.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
crush would rather be in a band than be a lawyer.
Well, Troy, you got the coolest cat, exemplified by Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray. Uh,
Okay.
a guy who can act wacky and unpredictable is what you look for. You love how he gets a big kick out of life and takes you along for the ride. Every day is like a new adventure, and you're ready.
Wait a minute. Yes, I love
I love
all of
this
that.
guy for you.
Yes, and, like, pre-filler Mark McGrath, absolute I mean,
Mm,
just stunning. Kind of to me, Mark during this time was truly like, his face is the hunk, the early 2000s hunk. Like, he looks like every guy Mary-Kate and Ashley were trying to cast in every movie they ever made.
absolutely. I also had, a picture of him in one of my retainers.
Forgot that that used to be a thing.
Mhm, I had
How'd you
the
girls do that?
okay, so they're like, "Oh, you can put a sticker in your retainer." It had to be a sticker, and Cosmo Girl had all the fun, like, boy stickers,
Mhm, mhm.
and so the first one I got Mark McGrath, but then I lost that retainer, and just, like, what I had left over in my Cosmo Girls, the only good one I had left, like, that was passable was, fucking, Shane West.
Okay,
So
passable,
I
yeah.
had Shane West in there for a while.
That is so I forgot about retainer, decor or whatever, if you will. Like the watermelon ones too.
Oh, yeah. My last one was like a tie-dye-esque, like, pink and green.
Are people doing retainer still? Like, is that still like a tooth service for the youth?
Well, I think people are still doing the permanent lower retainers, which
Right. Yeah.
I got mine taken out, which was a huge mistake. I had my dentist do it, and, huge mistake. Don't do it, and I did it. Do you wanna know why I did it? Because I thought it was making my breath smell because it was too hard to floss around it, and there was a guy I liked, and I was like, I feel like my breath is bad because of this." So I had my dentist yank it out.
You just pull it out yourself. You're like, it's worth it." Wow.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if, like, top retainers I feel like people are doing more of the, like, Invisalign ones
Mhm.
because it's just, like, easier to get them and to replace them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people because every once in a while, I'll have a wild hair up my ass and think that I'm gonna do Invisalign and get rid of my gap, and then I'll run it by somebody in my life, and they are so violently against it that it then, like, turns me away from it, and they all say, like, "No, we would think you looked weird." Like,
It would
we
be
wouldn't be able to look past it.
it would be really weird, and I also just think that people you don't realize until it's done how much your face can change by changing
Yeah.
your teeth, and I just
Yes.
wonder what closing that gap would do.
Yeah. It would be really weird. I wouldn't recognize myself. I always end up not doing it. But in my manic moments where I look into it, it's like I'm shocked by how common the Invisalign is now, which is crazy because I know that braces are like whatever, people don't wanna have braces, but it takes so much longer with Invisalign. Like, braces, you're done in a year. Invisalign,
I had
that
mine
shit
for,
takes
like, 6
forever.
months, yeah, it takes such a long time, and I don't know, as much as it's probably like, as much as it sucks to eat with braces on,
Mhm.
I find that it seems worse to have to, like, constantly be taking out your, like, disgusting thing and
Yeah,
putting it on
and
a plate
talking with it.
and talking with it, you sound different. Like, I can
Yeah.
understand as an adult, it's maybe, but because you don't wanna walk around with braces, but it's just so much faster.
Listen, if you have to have adult braces, just lean into the aesthetic. They can be really cute. Like if you're an adult with braces and you just lean into being like a quirky girl that has braces and is like
Or start an
cute.
OnlyFans. I'm sure that's like
Oh,
a
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You put pigtails in and start an OnlyFans, you're a millionaire in a week. Me as a business manager.
Listen, I did have a brief moment, like, 2 weeks ago where I was very seriously looking into, a website that's OnlyFans, but just for feet. It's like, "Hmm."
Hey, listen, what's the harm?
Well, they were also I was looking at Reddit, and they were saying, "You make a lot more money if you show your face and, like, they can get a personality," and I was like, "What if I just was like, yeah, I have a podcast, like, you could listen to me and buy my feet pics?" I was like,
You literally would make so much money.
Everybody, please, like, rate, review, subscribe, help us out, and maybe I can avoid feet pics.
If you don't rate, review, and subscribe, Dara will have to resort to foot porn. Please rate, review, and subscribe so that Dara doesn't have to do foot porn.
Honestly, if I was guaranteed money with it, I'd be like, "Yeah, let's just do it." It
I
sounds
would
like
I would
there's a
pimp you
lot of
out.
work
I'd make you
involved.
do it.
It sounds like there's a lot of work involved, like, everyone was saying, like, it's like a part-time job, you gotta do a lot of social media managing, and I was like, "I've already
No,
got too
yeah.
many accounts to deal with, okay? I can't add another."
You really have to, like, be in it. But if I've in my mind, if I could That's So Raven and know that you would become, like, extremely wealthy, I would literally pimp you and raise my hand and say, "You are doing this."
I mean, it sounds fun. I'd give you 10% and
Yeah. I'll do the old Kris Jenner and say, "You're doing amazing, sweetie. We just need 3 more sex tapes. We need 3 more, okay?"
"Okay, Lindsay,
Oh.
do you need a
Well,
juice? Do you need some electrolytes? We got 3 more."
"You want a saltine, honey? Chew that almond really well." Should we get into these questions?
Let's get into the questions. We could get off of braces and foot porn.
With just a couple minutes, what we can do with that is just really
The
something else.
these minds.
My lord. The first one is from Allie. It says, "My question is, was there a consequence to Lindsay being in this movie?" In reference to the Canyons. "Did it impact her career or was it just another crazy Lindsay move? Did James Dean do more acting after this? Was he good in the movie? Was the director's career shaken by this?" What would you say was the impact on Lindsay's career for the Canyons?
I would say that okay, so, the way I remember it is the discourse leading up to the canyons. I think there was some excitement, like, is this going to be a comeback? Because at this point, uh, like, the last thing she was really in was in 2010, Machete. Well, she was in Liz and Dick in 2012, but
Mhm,
that was a Lifetime movie, and it was kind of it was a Lifetime movie. I enjoyed it, but it was a joke of a movie, like, it didn't count for any sort of comeback. And then before that, 2010, she did Machete, which that was kind of something people were excited about, but it really came and went and had no impact on her. So then the Canyons, I remember being hopeful for, and then the movie came out, it was bad, which wasn't unexpected. I feel like the article actually had a worse impact on her career than the movie itself did.
mhm.
Um, and but at this point, 2013, okay, she has an interesting run in 2013. Okay, yeah, so she does The Canyons, but she's also in an episode of Anger Management. She's in Scary Movie 5 with Charlie Sheen, and then she's in Eastbound and Down in the series finale, where she plays Kenny Powers' daughter, adult daughter. And I remember that was kind of like, "Oh, that's like a kind of fun, hip thing."
Mhm.
But it didn't, like, pan out to anything. In 2014, the Oprah series comes out.
Right.
And I feel like the Oprah series is what really just, like, put a stop to things.
Yeah. Well, because she
Because
had been in such a, like, a loop of, like, talk like, Lindsay was in this nonstop loop for a really long time of talking about herself as, like, troubled and wanting to reform. Like, even as far back as, like, her Funny or Die video, where she
yeah.
does the fake dating app. That was, like,
Yep.
10 years before, and she's still talking about, being ready to work and getting her head on straight and blah, 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 like, it was just, like, constant, and I just feel like, to me, the vibe of the Canyons and, like, what came of it was just, like, the public was kind of like, "We've heard it all before." Like, she had reached the end of the public, like, maybe this will be a thing, or maybe this will be her
Yeah.
comeback, or this is like, she's really gonna be sober now, like, this is it. I think the Canyon was, like, a result of people just, like, no longer being really invested in whether or not, and then the movie was bad, and it had bad press, and, it was a different time, and the public was not really like, the idea of her doing a movie with a porn star, like, felt beneath her, like, or whatever it is how people talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it felt publicly like a low point.
Yeah, like, she wasn't insurable at that point, and then it could have been maybe a bit of a chance, like, if she had even if the movie was bad, I think if she had walked away from it and it seemed like well, actually, she was, like, totally on top of everything, but she wasn't, and then the Oprah series comes out, and then you really get to see it with your own eyes. You see how, incapable she is of working, and then she moves to Dubai in 2014.
Yeah. She really committed to, like, which I couldn't believe it, like, I thought when she moved to Dubai, I was like, "This won't she's not gonna, like, stay." Like, I just in
No.
my mind, I was like, "She can't leave the paparazzi for too long, she can't leave the mania, the drama, the ups, the highs and lows, the dopamine," like, I was like, "She'll never leave LA for long." She really did, though. She actually left, and she actually, like, recalibrated her brain to, like, not need the dopamine anymore and the
Well,
chase.
I I wonder about that, though. I feel like we don't really know what was going on in Dubai because so, like, 2014, she goes to Dubai, things kinda, like, calmed down a little bit, like, she was going to go away, but then in 2018, she's talking in that accent, and we have that video where she is, like, seemingly trying to kidnap 2 children off the street.
"Give him to me."
That every once in a while, we have a moment in pop culture where I go, "Oh, wow, we're back in the New York groove." Like, The
Yeah.
Slap. The Slap to me was like, "Oh my god, we're
Mhm.
back, baby." But you get
Uh-huh.
those little moments, and that video was, "Oh, there's still culture somewhere."
We're still getting it. We're still being fed. "Do you want to watch a movie? Let him come with me. Let him. Give him to me." And then when the best thing about that video is when the woman hits her and she lets out the longest Lindsay squeal that it's just like a, "Ah!"
Yeah, I forgot
Like, it's like the longest Lindsay voice crack of all the cracks she's ever done, like, it was amazing.
Roy, I forgot about the squeal.
When she's on the ground.
It's literally because it could have just been a video of her, like, talking to these kids and then it cuts out. The fact that the mom was like, "The fuck are you?" And just totally, like, cuts through it, and she becomes, like, the
No,
lady in the grape stopping video.
my god, what a specific reference. Oh my god. But no, it is like, I mean, that the Dubai of it all is crazy, and I will say, in my opinion, she was able to, like, basically go there and do her most debaucherous, dark-sided, dark web kind of work and not be judged, not be photographed, not
Yeah.
be whatever, like, I don't think it was a I don't think it was like a non-toxic period for her. I do think
Oh,
it was still quite insane, but, like,
yeah.
the
You can go anywhere to, like, get away from paparazzi. You don't have to go to Dubai.
yeah, like, she went there to be a working girl, and you know what? It is, good for her. But I guess I just think, like, the unique brand of craziness that she grew up with, like, that she was used to from the time she was a kid, like,
Yeah.
I do think that she was addicted to it, and I think that she had to cut it off. Like,
Yeah.
she was addicted to Los Angeles and New York paparazzi culture. She was addicted to them chasing her, and she claimed to hate it, but
She did
I
it.
don't think she did.
And it as crazy as Dubai is, at least there it was a situation where, she can't go to London. London will be just as bad.
Right.
Like any European country, even if it doesn't have a strong paparazzi presence, she's still going to be a part
Mhm,
of, like, of the Western world of partying and people knowing who she is and, like, wanting
mhm,
to party with her. But with Dubai, with all the rules and everything,
mhm.
it I do think eventually, as she started to calm down, it ended up being okay for her there. Like, I remember
Beneficial.
yeah. I th I remember hearing it might have been David Spade's podcast back during COVID, and she was still living in Dubai, but she was about to leave, and she said she had been living there with Allie for, like, a year. They were in lockdown together. And
Mhm, I remember that.
she sounded, like, very with it and yeah, like, it sounded like eventually it became beneficial.
I remember her doing those Zoom interviews with Ali there.
Mhm.
Ali was,
Yeah.
like, living in her Dubai house, and I remember thinking, "That's unsavory," but I don't
Yeah,
wanna know any more about that.
don't need to I'm just gonna choose to think that those are just 2 sisters
Yeah.
enjoying
Now,
themselves.
as far as James goes, he was still the most working man in porn. After the can just in 2013 alone, James Dean did so many movies that I have scrolled easily 8 times, and I'm nowhere near the end of just 2013. He did well over 100 movies in that year alone. So, like, I think he just went back like, James, it benefited him in his profession because he did a legit movie and, like, was talked about everywhere. He was all over the press for, like, a year. So he didn't, like, parlay that into becoming a real actor, but he made a ton of movie money in porn because of
Yeah,
being associated. He didn't do another real, like, legit acting credit until 2015. He was in one episode of an HBO or a Showtime show called Happy-ish, but it was a guest appearance, and that's kind of it. Like,
and then he's canceled, and when he's canceled, it's like he was it was really over for him
yeah, he was, like,
in the
no
mainstream.
longer yeah,
And
um
then as far as Paul Schrader goes, so what's interesting about this is the Canyons is kind of like his last gasp. You think it is, and even the movie's kind
mhm,
of about that, about movies and people not caring about movies anymore. It opens and closes with all of these exterior shots of abandoned movie theaters. The Canyons comes out, it's just it's just bad. Nobody expected that much more from it, so I don't think it ended up hurting his career, but then he does end up having a very unexpected career renaissance where he kind of, it seems like, takes the lessons that he learned from making the canyons as far as,
mhm.
um, utilizing the marketing and, doing things on a shoestring budget and getting really creative, but like, pivots back to the sort of stuff that the type of movies that he wanted to make when he was starting out his career. So, yeah, he ends up having, like, a late in life career renaissance. But it has nothing to
Yeah.
do with really the canyons.
The thing about the canyons is that and I say this a lot about things like I would if I was in a really bad thing, like a bad project or like I always say this about Drag Race. If you're gonna do really bad in a challenge on Drag Race, you should do so bad that it's iconic.
Yes.
Like, Showgirls is so bad it's iconic, you know? The Canyons is too sort of, like it's boring and, like, it's, like, such a middle of the road nothing movie. It wasn't bad enough that it became, like, a cult favorite or iconic or something that people go watch as a joke in theaters or watch with their friends, like, you know? It wasn't, like, fun enough to be infamous for being bad. It was bad
Yeah.
and boring.
I wonder if the reason why it's not bad enough to be good is the fact that it was being made by someone who was talented and so, like, had some sort of eye for this, but was just sort of missing the mark, but not, like or is it just because it was a straight guy and, like, he's not seeing what's, like, funny about this or, like, what's
Right.
camp about this?
There's no camp, and that's really what's missing from that movie. It's like there is no camp
And it's
whatsoever.
so close.
I
Like
know, because it
like,
should be the most campy thing ever.
you know what it is the situation is so camp, but he doesn't commit to allowing that to flourish. Like, for example, Lindsay saying, I'm gonna do my own makeup," and she has, like, a crazy amount of makeup on that's, like, does not
Yeah.
look professional, but it's a vibe, and he doesn't want her to do that, so it doesn't commit to that sort of look throughout the movie. It's just
Yeah.
he wants it to be legitimately good, and he knows what legitimately good is supposed to look like, so he's just, like, constantly fighting the little flourishes that would make it really fun.
Right. Yeah, if a homosexual was on that set, we would have had a little bit more fun, a little glitter thrown on it. It was just so yeah, for
You
sure.
wanna actually, I take it all back. This is why it's not camp, and why it's not good enough to be fun. They all had such a hard on for James Dean that
Mm,
it was all focused on him. If they
yeah.
were focusing more on Lindsay and had it because he wasn't a good actor, they all were, like, dickmatized by him in a way that does not make sense when you see him on screen. They're like, "Oh, he is gonna be the one who saves this movie," and it's like, he is
I
not
know.
very good, and I don't
It's
know
so odd.
why you're all thinking that.
And
It's
then the legitimate actor on set who, like, knows that he's bad is, like, being gaslit into thinking that she's difficult for being like, "He's bad. He can't act. He's not good." And they're like, "Lindsay, stop being crazy." Yeah.
I think any great camp movie, you're just really more invested in the woman and the story itself.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
it's the story is too invested in the man who's also the bad guy.
Yeah, like, just give us striptease. Like, just give us the woman. Give us Lindsay in a bunch of crazy outfits doing eccentric, crazy things. I don't wanna fucking watch James Dean.
No, it's like, I guess at the end of the day, you can't really make a Bret Easton Ellis story camp unless you have a woman or a gay man directing it.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
the conclusion that we're coming to.
that's American Psycho, baby, you know, like,
And Allie, and that's us just answering a single question. Can you imagine? Uh,
it's hell being in these brains. It
it
never stops.
literally, it's like, "God damn it, shut up." But I can't stop. Okay, uh, moving on to Joseph Stoll. I'm obsessed with this question, by the way, Joseph. He said, "Okay, so I first want to know your thoughts on Lindsay allegedly stealing a pair of earrings from Gaga, which she tweeted about. Also, are you aware of the Lana Del Rey diss track about Gaga during their time in New York together and the Abercrombie and Fitch ad campaign with an adolescent Lindsay and Lana? These three women have interesting NYC roots and connections. Why do you think the three of them no longer grace each other's orbits any longer?" I love this question so
This is
much.
s beautifully put, well thought out, incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I gosh, where do we begin? This question is a podcast episode.
Well, let's start with the earrings.
Okay. Now, I I need to look up this tweet, because I remember this, but I'm
So we actually talked about it, the
yeah.
night that they hung out.
Yes. And was that the night
Then
where he stole them?
so she must have taken them that night, and then later, Lindsay posted a selfie. I'll send you the TMZ article. She posted a selfie of herself wearing them, and Lady Gaga responded to it and said, "Are those my earrings? 3 question marks. This is awkward," with a smile, and then she said, "Kiss, kiss, Chateau Bunny,"
I'm gonna start calling you
which I
Chateau
love.
Bunny.
I'm obsessed.
No, I want
We gotta
T-shirts
write
that
that
say
down.
Chateau Bunny.
That will be our first merch launch.
Yes,
Chateau Bunny. Wow, because I'm
limited
literally,
edition merch drop, Chateau Bunny.
oh my god, I am obsessed. Um, yeah, I that evening, I mean, we talked about it really in depth in the episode, but that evening is just so iconic. Like, what I would give for the cameras to have been up.
Ugh. Yeah, so she steals the earrings. I do love that. That is the sort of brazen, like, to to post a selfie with them. I'll bet in Lindsay's head she was like, "You gave these to me."
For sure. I think she's able to rationalize her theft, uh, pretty easily.
Yeah. Um,
Now, are you aware of the Lana Del Rey, Lady Gaga song?
I'm aware of it, but, like, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I am aware that they had one.
So the song is called "So Legit." It's from Lana's, like, Lizzie Grant era. So she may have probably been blonde when she, did this song, but
Wait,
the
okay,
lyrics.
I don't know that much about this actually. So, yeah, like
Oh, okay, so Lana and Gaga, that era of New York City, like the Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Kesha, like, era of those girls, like, clawing to become mainstream is so fascinating to me.
yes, and how
'Cause it's
none of
very
them are in each other's orbits anymore.
no, and they all came up together and, you know, it's just, like, so fascinating, like, what I would give to know, like, the behind the scenes of a lot of that stuff, especially with Katy Perry and Gaga. But basically, Lady Gaga and, when she was still going by Lizzie Grant, Lana, like, were coming up together in New York, and the song is, again, it's called "So Legit." She says, "You were the freak king of the piercing shop. All the girls thought they could sing, but they're really not shit. I don't get it. You're looking like a man. You're talking like a baby. How the fuck is your song in a Coke commercial? Crazy. I don't get it. Your taste once exquisite. What happened to Brooklyn? What happened to New York? What happened to my scene? What happened to punk rock?" So obviously she wrote this about, like, after Gaga, like, made it, and, like, so many people around that time had shit to say about, like, Stephanie Germanotta,
Yeah.
"Oh, she just, like, put meat on her and now she's, like, famous now." You know, they all thought she was, like, a sellout. And she says, "You called me the queen of the downtown scene, babe. How the fuck would you go switch it up and then replace me? I don't get it. I'm so legit. Tell me, was it 'cause I wasn't platinum and jewels that perhaps you thought I was a little bit of an uncool kid? Was that it? Stephanie, you suck. I know you're selling 20,000,000. Wish they could have seen you when we booed you off in Williamsburg. You're hurt. I know my words don't hurt ya." And it just goes on and on. "I see you walking around in pearls thinking you're number 1. You're so funny, cause honey, you're not." Um, yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, yeah. But, Gaga had a really, like, and I'm saying this as a little monster, my paw is up or whatever, but
Paws are
Gaga
up.
was paws are up, but she was quite treacherous in her New York days, trying to become famous, like, sabotaging the girls, you know what I mean? So, there was a lot of
Yeah.
chatter.
Yeah. It is interesting too, like, do you think there's, like, so there is the treachery, but also, she calls her, she looks like a man.
Mhm.
I feel like there's maybe a bit of jealousy amongst where she was doing her own thing and kind of, like, not playing into a heteronormative female
Mhm.
stereotype of what a pop star has to do or look like,
Right.
that I wonder if a lot of other women, in her class of musicians, like her graduating class, if there was, like, a lot of resentment there. Because, like, what she was doing that she's getting famous, and what she's doing is something that's not something anyone can do.
Yeah, I do think that there was a tinge of jealousy, and I just think that the way that Lady Gaga was approaching being a pop star was so different than everybody else. Like, Lady Gaga had this very, like, Madonna sensibility where it was like, "I'm doing something that is so above the brains of all of you people that, like, it'll take you time to catch up to what I'm doing." Like, she had, like, superstar mentality,
Mhm.
whereas I feel like the other girls were just sort of like Blinkoing into place, like, where they ended up, but Gaga
Yeah.
had, like, a real headstrong, like, self-identified, like, "I am here, hear me roar. I will stop at nothing to become the most famous person in the globe." I don't think Lana ever had that kind of sensibility, and I think people made fun of Gaga for it, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can make fun of the meat dress all you want, but it stuck in people's minds, it helped
Yeah.
her, and it's also something that's so insane and so stupid that to
Mhm.
actually do it is iconic,
Mhm.
and you can make fun of it, but it's like, you wouldn't have thought of something like that weird and
I agree.
executed it,
Her
but it
commitment to it is,
yeah,
like and it's, like, on another level.
she commits to the bit.
She
No one
commits to
can
the
accuse
bit,
her of not committing to the bit.
and then lastly,
Um
you're familiar with the Abercrombie,
Oh, yes, of
picture.
course. That is iconic. That is worlds colliding.
Isn't it crazy to think that, like, you and we could have just, like, willy-nilly had that bag, like, in our possession from
I know.
shopping at the store, but, like, not knowing that Lindsay Lohan and
Not
Lana
having
Del Rey are on the fucking bag.
I I I wonder if we were too young for that.
I think we may have been. That would have been speaking of side note, speaking of those bags, did you cover your books in Abercrombie bags at your school?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For oh,
Wow.
for sure.
Oh my god. Should we inform Gen Z that that was a thing?
My god, they're gonna lose it.
So to put this into perspective, we used to read these things called books, and we used to have to carry these books, these big, thick, heavy, sane books through school all day, like 20 of them. Nothing was on a computer. Everything was on a big ass book that had been passed down for like 12 years. And you would cover your books with book covers. So they had like stretchy book covers that you could just slap it on like a pair of socks. Those were like expensive and like pinkies up. It was like chic
Mhm.
to have like the really expensive like book covers that you got from like a real store. But then we started doing bags. Like there was this way that
Yeah.
you could fold a bag and tape it and cut it so that it looked like a professional book cover that you would get on like a real novel. And we would do it with Abercrombie bags because those bags were covered with shirtless like hunks with abs, and it was like the photos were literally so erotic. They were so sexual, like
So sexual.
like, it was so inappropriate to be carrying those around school, but then some people would do, like, their Hollister bags, some people would do, like, American Eagle, but the real coveted bag was the Abercrombie black and white, like, sexy photos on your books.
Yeah, I feel like it also sort of showed where you shop in the
Yeah.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, like, what you were interested in, like, if you're a Hot Topic girl, you're not gonna
Mhm,
have
exactly.
an Abercrombie cover.
Exactly. Exactly, you wouldn't be seen, that's not your tribe.
No. Oh, those were That was fun. That was a little piece of culture that was fun.
Yeah. This one is from Lonely Angeline,
Angel in your
you
area.
your Angelina Jolie, Mowgli Pitt, Lonely Angel in your area. Wow. She said, Lindsay's comeback. Do you feel it's disconnected from her core fans slash the people who have been holding a torch for her all these years? What I mean is, which Lindsay stan was actually excited for Freakier Friday? We went we want her in a PTA flick. Get Diablo Cody on the line, and let's write Lindsay her young adult. Instead, she's denying she ever dated Sam Ronson and is doing PR for Dubai. Do you think it's who Lindsay is in 2026, or does it say more about the nature of the comeback slash celebrity in our current everything is an influencer culture? I love that question.
And then what does a dream Lindsay comeback look like for you?
Mm.
You guys, you know how much we talk at these questions. How could we ever get through these?
Okay, we're gonna be okay. A, do you think that it's, like, disconnected? Like, do you feel as a Lindsay fan, do you feel a connection to this comeback, or do you feel like it's like the real fans have a different idea of what we thought this would be?
I think the real fans have a completely different vision for this. I am a number 1 Lindsay Lohan stan, and, so far, every part of her comeback, like, not a single thing has really excited me. I was happy for her that she got Freaky Friday just because it's a legit movie. It's, it's a legit paycheck or whatever, and
Mhm.
I saw it with my mom. I thought it was cute. A lot of people really didn't like it. I thought it was enjoyable. It's not what I would ever want for her, and I don't think any of her real fans, like, look at this. I think the people who are like, "Slay! She's back, mama," are people who maybe were just kind of like, I liked Mean Girls and
Yeah.
or, like, younger, like, oh, they were in middle school when Mean Girls came out, and they don't really, like, have a strong tie to, like, her tabloid work.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that there's a disconnect for sure, and I think that when you're a real Lindsay Lohan fan, it's like you know that there's, like, an artistry to her. There's this, like, artist that is inside of her that
Yeah.
can, like, put a look together, that can curate a photo shoot, that can model better than a lot of, like, high end, like, working models. Like, she has this ability in her that is, like, not being tapped into, and I think that that's really sad. Like, I think that all of her she's been like, neutered. Like, all of her rough edges have been softened and filed down, and it's like she's just, like, palatable, just, like, you know? And I guess to play devil's advocate, I understand like, it felt like she had, like, a more long-term goal in mind when she had first signed on to do all those Netflix movies. It's like, obviously, Lindsay Lohan doesn't think that she's doing real like, she's not doing, like, Schindler's List by being in that Irish love story
Y
or whatever on Netflix,
yeah,
you know?
Irish Wish.
Yeah, but she had the long term in mind and, like, it she was able to prove herself, become bankable, become insurable. Like, she kind of had to start from a place that maybe wasn't ideal, but, like, it got
Yeah.
her. Because if you think about it, when she signed on to do the Netflix stuff, she still wasn't in, like, theaters yet, again.
No, and if you the first one came out in 2022, and I remember when that came out, it was like, "Oh, cool, she's doing something," but then she doesn't really do anything notable after, like, it didn't feel like,
Yeah,
"Oh, her comeback." Didn't feel that way until The Irish Wish, where things started to kind of and then that beautiful facelift. Because I think that was holding the old face was holding her back.
and you said in this question, like, does it say more about, like, our culture and, like, everything is an influencer thing? I think that there's something so fascinating about the fact that when women get good work, they are rewarded for it with more jobs
Yeah.
and press and spreads and magazine photo shoots and covers and stuff. When women get bad work, they are punished and told that they ruined their career, that their career's over, they're hired less. They are literally publicly punished for
Yeah.
getting work that didn't work out the way that they hoped. And, like, Lindsay luckily got a great facelift and then was able to, like, be rewarded, which is so just insane and disgusting, like,
Well, and
it's
I think
crazy.
that also I think people saw that the nostalgia thing was back and was bankable, and I think before the facelift, it was like, Paris Hilton looks exactly the same, but also looks completely neutered and acts completely neutered
Mhm.
from the person she once was, but, like, people the mainstream didn't have as much of a tie to, like, her and her personality and all of that stuff, and she didn't have as much of a personality as Lindsay.
Right.
But I think before the facelift, people looked at Lindsay and it was like looking at what your face looks like and what you should look like at this young age, like, at this
Right.
point, not even 40, like, you shouldn't look this different, and I think it bummed people out and, like,
Right.
reminded them of,
Yeah.
like, what she did to her body that sort of
Yes.
fucked all of this up. And then when she gets a facelift and we see she looks like her old self, um, then it's like, "Okay, we feel good about this." But, yeah, I do think it speaks a lot to Lindsay, though, as a person and not to just society, because I think that one thing that I've always thought is that, like, I'll never get excited about a Lindsay comeback until she can, like, really say, like, "Oh, yeah, I partied." Like, to have a
Yeah.
sort of grounded acceptance of everything. Because,
Mhm.
when she was trying to get sober and all of that, she never would really accept the, like, alcoholic label and drug addict label, and she was, like, a lot of excuses, which is par for the course with something like that. And now she's accepted that, but she hasn't really, like, accepted who she was back then with, like, the
No.
rougher edges and with the like, I don't know, her hair is so not her. Like, I know that she loves the
Mhm.
long hair, but this version of her long hair is not what old Lindsay was.
No, and unfortunately, like, I don't think that she understands our connection to old Lindsay. I think that Lindsay is
No.
too inside the orbit of Lindsay Lohan that she thinks we just wanna hear her talk about Mean Girls 8,000 times, and the thing is, a lot of people do. Like you said earlier,
Yeah.
like, the Mean Girls people who just know her from, like, that and, like, The Parent Trap, like, they want to hear her talk about Juicy Couture tracksuits and shit, and, like, they wanna see her do the Paris Hilton thing. Like, they like it. There's a generation of people under us that like this neutered version of celebrity, like, where there's no rough edges and they're just, like, non-problematic, and it's just, like, it's so fucking boring, but it's what the public calls for now. Like, she's uncancelable now because she's so nothing, and it's what people
Yeah.
prefer.
I don't think we'll ever get a real Lindsay comeback. Maybe
Ugh.
there's a possibility if things don't work out with her husband, because I feel as though there's sort of I think there's something there with, like, having to go by the book of
Mhm,
respectability.
mhm.
Um,
Being a lady?
being a lady. So, like, maybe it maybe she could have some sort of, like, midlife crisis cooking. Her kid gets a little older, she leaves her husband, and then maybe she, like, comes back to us, but I feel like she's a little bit lobotomized, and I don't think that she'll ever and because of that, I don't think she's necessarily capable of doing the sort of roles that, like, I would love to see her in a PTA movie. I wonder if she could do that justice to the degree that we would want her to at this point, like something really gritty and interesting and cool.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to answer your what does, like, our dream comeback look like for her, to me, I've been saying this now for a long time, but I want her to play, like, a cigarette mom. I
Oh,
think that in award
her young
season,
adult.
literally her young adult, like, I think in award season where she's playing a cigarette mom and, like, playing a mom for the first time on camera while having a child, while also, like, going back to, like, gritty Lindsay, like, I would just love for her to have, like, a Lady Gaga style award season where she's, like, at all the award shows, all the red carpets, like, she's at least nominated at everything, like, you expect her to be there, maybe she wins a couple, maybe she doesn't, but just, like, an award season, I think would be incredible for a truly gritty movie, not for some fluffy bullshit. Like, I don't want any more fluff. I need grit. I need her biting that fucking finger again.
I
I
need a
need it.
finger in that mouth right now.
Yeah,
I
totally.
Unfortunately, I just think it's something we shouldn't hold our breath for, and we should maybe focus our sights on Nicole Richie, like, getting back into acting more seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I could
Nicole
I
on
could
an HBO comedy?
can you imagine? I could even see her in doing, like, a really surprise turn in a young adult or a Tully, like
Totally, yeah.
funny a funny, cheeky drama
We should get
that's a little
Lindsay needs
weird.
to be on. Lindsay should have done the comeback this year. She should have been on the
Troy,
comeback.
Troy.
Oh, she needs us.
We'd be such good managers.
I know, it's so annoying. It's so annoying that we're not Samantha Jones. I literally hate it. It's like
It's
we're
so
calling is being missed.
it's annoying to be right about everything and, like, not being able to get our ideas out to the people that need to hear them, you know?
One day, luckily we have these microphones in front of our faces, so maybe we're doing the work.
That's true. This is all we could do, and hopefully it'll make its way to the top.
Thank you for that amazing question though. That was like
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Oh, Julie
Next,
B. I'd
yeah.
love to know your favorite Lindsay fashion moment. Can be pap shots, red carpet, magazine spread, etc., or one from each category if it's hard to narrow down. Troy, if Rube 23 is your favorite, pick your close second. I actually know what mine is. Okay. It is. Let me see if I'm just gonna describe it, and I wanna know if you, off the top of your head, can place it. It's
Okay.
from the Maxim's 8th annual Hot 100 party, and it's a red carpet, and she's blonde.
Is she bleach blonde or golden
Sh
blonde?
she's golden blonde.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. Is it stripes?
Uh-huh. The rainbow stripes. Yup. It's like a rainbow
Oh my
stripe,
god.
a bandage dress. You're good, my boy's good. I knew you'd know.
My god. I didn't think I would know. That's sick. That is
I
sick behavior. I didn't like that. I'm afraid of myself right now. That was too much.
I knew you would get it. I just knew it.
That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Uh, I don't know if I could pick favorite. Um,
Now,
okay.
I choose that one as my favorite because, like, there's so many, but that is one that always stuck out, and I think it was because I tried to find a dress like it, and I found a dress from Forever 21 that was sort of similar, and I had red extensions and would just, like, bop around and, like, stuff my
Oh,
boobs and try to, like, bounce around like Lohan. So
oh
it
my
really
god, that's
sticks out.
everything to me. I wish that I knew you during your first Lindsay run through, like, with your red hair.
Oh, Troy, you would have loved me.
I'm gonna say that I don't think I can pick a favorite, but I will tell you that I have a favorite era of Lindsay's style.
Okay.
So I really love, and this is not gonna surprise anyone, but I love Lindsay's, like, indie sleaze era.
Oh my god, of course.
Her nylon shoe is probably my favorite fashion moment. There's a picture where she's, like, wearing these really tall boots.
Mhm.
There's another one where she has this leather skirt on and, like, a vintage Chanel belt, and, like, it's like a woven, like, the classic Chanel, like, woven, like,
Yes.
gold metal chain link. I think that Lindsay in her nylon vibe is my personal favorite Lindsay. Like, I like that version of her. Like, 2009 is probably my favorite. I think her hair is the best then. I love those extensions.
Yes.
Um, like, I just think nylon version of Lindsay captures my favorite version of her. Like, that 2007 nylon, I'm just like, that to me is Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Is That's peak. Yeah, that's, like, who I go back because there's, like, the early 2000s, like, that's that's too preppy. It's too
Yes. It's
it's too
yeah.
basic.
It's like 217 magazine. I just sent you a picture of my favorite Lindsay Lohan hair. I think just that year of her hair like that color where it's a little blonde, a little brown. I don't even know what you would call that. Is that like old school balayage, like before that was a thing?
I think it's kind of balayage. It's kind of like what it really is this is a redhead who also has, like, dyed her hair a million different colors,
So it's all these different colors
highlighting it,
bleeding
and it's,
through.
like, washing out, and it's, like, it creates its own little balayage.
Yeah.
Um, no, and that is super long hair, but it
Mhm.
is so wild and Lindsay. Yeah,
Yeah.
2009 Lindsay is, like, a really special time.
If you guys want a visual representation, just Google Lindsay Lohan nylon magazine, but specifically there's one where she's wearing a blazer, she's tugging at it, and she's got, like, maroon polka dot pants. That is like, if we could get back there just even a little bit, like,
Oh,
that girl that
that
girl at that
that's a
time with her
cool
sensibility,
girl. The
she could
way
have
she
been running a magazine.
the way she dresses now, what bothers me about it is it reminds me so much of how Paris Hilton dresses now. It's
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like, these little T-length dresses and, like, very girly and pinks and I don't know. It's so not her.
It's missing her thing. Like, it's missing what
Yes.
made Lindsay feel so unique in her like, where she could style herself if she needed to, and she would do better than a stylist in a lot of ways, like, it's missing her uniqueness, you know?
Yeah. Lindsay Lohan. Oh,
The next question is from Luna Fish 99. Lindsay came along at a time when media coverage and blogs were especially misogynistic and cruel, and it makes me wonder how her career would have gone had she been a decade or two older. What movies do you feel like Lindsay would have been perfect for had her career gone differently, or if she was working in a different time period? I would have loved to have seen her in more erotic thrillers. Well, that's what I was gonna say. That would have been my answer. I would have put her in like some like 9.5 weeks kind of Fatal Attraction, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She only ever really did I Know Who Killed Me. She never, like, got into the erotic thriller, genre, but I just would have loved to have seen her in more thrillers, like,
you know,
ugh.
I think okay, I do think there is really something there with this question where and it's interesting that if she had been a few decades older, maybe this and I
Mhm,
do kind of agree with that. Like, if you think about Demi Moore, you know, she was blowing rails herself and she got into rehab and she had some missteps and there were I mean, you know, the 70s and 80s, people were partying and it was it didn't ruin everything for them, like, you know, in
Mhm,
the long run, and there was
mhm.
also less, like, tabloid coverage of that sort of stuff. However, I do think another thing that hurt her besides the misogyny aspect of it, of, like, tabloids, is that she started out in Disney stuff. And I think that
Yeah.
kept her like, she never got to make the full transition into an adult actress. Like,
Mhm,
the entire time she was trying to shake off the Disney label and the Disney roles, and she had done so many like, that's most of her career is, like, stuff that she doesn't do that many things that aren't teen adjacent. Even her biggest role is Mean Girls, and yes, it's it's a little bit grittier than her Disney stuff, but not by much.
mhm,
So, her acting out the way that she was, it wasn't like, "Ooh, rock star, cool." Like,
mhm.
she's this gritty artist who's partying with these cool, artistic people. It's like she's doing Disney movies and not really getting outside of that, and then she's partying with, people they looked at them as beneath her, like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head. The Disney thing really, like, because obviously, Disney was such a great vehicle for her to, like, be bankable and make all this money and whatever, but it set her up on this weird path that, like, wasn't natural for who she was as an actor. Like,
Yeah,
even Kristen Stewart, who, like, became famous for Twilight, still leading up to that, all of her movies as a child were, like, gritty, like, real like, Panic Room and, like, they were, like, real movies. Like, Lindsay didn't have a period of, like, being able to dip into that until she was much older, and
yeah,
her career had already been set on such a specific path, and then it felt like everything she did was in spite of her Disney background,
mhm,
versus if she had just, like, been like a Misha Barton and, like, came up through, like, theater and did some, like, Sixth Sense kinda things and, like, had, like,
yeah.
era of being able to explore. But yeah, the Disney thing I think sets like many people, it sets you up for failure. It's you're being set up to be knocked down because it's inevitable that it's gonna, like, impact how people view you.
Yeah, and yeah, because if you look at her career, so she has The Parent Trap, but then her mom is like, You're going back in school, like, you're gonna live a little bit of a normal life," which, like, that does not sound like Dina Lohan to me, so I think it's more like shit was going down and
Mhm.
her career went by the wayside. But during that time period, if she had been doing like, she should have been playing a kid in adult movies, like Misha
Yeah.
Barton in The Sixth Sense, but she
Yeah.
misses all that time, and then her next movies are just Disney, 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 and then she gets Mean Girls, which, of course, maybe it ruined her career all the way to the bank, but if she had maybe like, it was too big of a movie that solidified her as a teen star.
Mhm.
It wasn't like she was Jennifer Lawrence who got a winter's bone.
Exactly. And, like, no she needed that because she would've, A, killed it, like, to imagine how incredible she was as a kid in those movies. Imagine her in a real gritty movie with, like where she was, like, really acting, like, she's so incredible in The Parent Trap that to picture her doing, like, an actual, like, thriller or a drama, oh my god.
I almost wonder if things would have been different for her personally if she had pivoted into that stuff where she was getting respect and not just doing, like,
Mm,
silly little kid movies and being put into the machine of that.
mhm,
And, like, the sort of people that are around those sets that have a lot of kids and, like, how that
mhm,
affects things. Um, at the end of the day, she should have gone by the J-Lo playbook.
Yes. Which is now my life, by the way.
You know?
The J-Lo playbook is now how I'm going to be choosing to live. I'm like, I will only accept a few rom-coms, and then I will keep them guessing with a thriller. I will do big box office movies just for the money. And then, when I have them by the balls.
This is from Mel M. On the thread of the treatment of celebs, and especially young women in those times, in another episode, it might be interesting to compare contrast treatment of two similar events, PR hiccups from similar celebs in the early 2000s versus something more recent. I know we always say that those blogs and sites were particularly cruel, but is it only because of the drawn on cocaine and splooge? Is our current commentary culture really treating these celebs more fairly, or are we just getting all of the extremes of potential reactions?
That's a
I
great
don't think
question.
we're that different at all.
I
I
don't
think that
either.
people have just gotten uh, better at hiding it. Like, I think with quote unquote PC culture, like, people have learned over the years, like, how to phrase something in a way
Mhm.
that's not so, like, cruel on Maine, but the sentiments are exactly the same. It's still rooting for people's downfalls, but, like, people know that they can't just, like, call someone the F slur on Maine. They have to
That's
do it in
exactly
other ways.
that's exactly how I feel. I always say I feel like we've acquired soft language for saying the same things. So instead of calling somebody fat, you call them big back. Instead of like
Or
like
you saying that you're worried about their health.
yeah, I'm worried about their health. Like we're just like it's like at least in the early 2000s we were like speaking freely.
Yeah.
Now we have all the same thoughts and everybody is thinking the same thing. And now it's so performative. Like the need to like use the correct terms, blah blah blah. It's complete performance and it's like everybody kind of walking on eggshells around each other about like not doing or saying the wrong thing, but like finding ways to still say and do it that are not
Mhm.
offensive, but you're still doing the same fucking thing. And I think when it comes to celebrity treatment, like, I think w if you really want me to be honest with you, I think that even though we were more cruel in the early 2000s, I think that we have completely lost sense of we've lost touch with, like, what celebrity should mean to us,
Yes.
because back in the day I could tell somebody that I was, like, gonna go watch Titanic, and it wouldn't mean that I co-signed Leonardo DiCaprio's decision to fly his plane from place to place, and I co-signed his dating young women and, like, all these things, like, now celebrities, like, represent us in the deepest parts of our fucking soul, and I just think that we have completely lost the plot. Like, we are
100%.
so far gone in this like back in the day, like yeah, like we would follow the behavior of Lindsay in Paris, and like you and I were like because of the media we consumed, fans of Paris Hilton in a way, but
Yeah.
also knew she was a terrible person, and I wasn't co-signing her bad behavior by watching The Simple Life. Like I had an awareness that I knew, but now it's like that to me is the most jarring thing.
Well, and by the time you guys hear this, the next episode won't be out, but we were kind of talking about that in what will be our next main feed episode, where we're talking about Anna Wintour, and Troy asked about co-signing basically like some of her feelings on wearing fur and stuff like that, saying no fat people in the office. It's like, well, I don't co-sign that personally, but I am still interested in the lore, in the character of this person. And
Yeah.
you don't have to like, people just think to like something, you have to co-sign every single part of them.
And people will publicly denounce something while privately engaging in it because now it's all about perspective and optics and you like what you're posting and stuff, and it's like, so you'll watch the movies with the guys that you're telling me that I'm a bad person, or you'll listen to the songs from the person that you're saying that I'm a bad person for listening to, but you just don't claim it publicly. It's all performance. It's like, it's really odd. Like, I do kind of just miss when everybody was a cunt to your face. Like, I
Yeah.
hate this. And then the whole like this idea that if you like I'm a better person than you because I don't engage in any problematic celebrities. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you delusional? You think that the whole media landscape in itself is not corrupt? Like, if you're watching
All
Netflix, if you're listening to music, if you're watching TV, you're engaging. You're doing it.
ex and it's we I feel like we've talked about this with Bravo and stuff where it's like, yeah, the putting people on TV, exposing parts of their lives that, they're interesting because many of them have mental health issues or substance abuse issues. Like, should we be engaging in it at all? But
Yeah.
plenty of you are, but then also putting up the rules of, well, this is acceptable behavior, but this is not.
Mhm. And the thing that I make a pass for is fine.
Yes.
Why? Why is that fine? Like, Bravo is such a perfect example because it's like, so we're draining the swamp and getting rid of all the bad people on Bravo, so that's all of them, right? Isn't that all of them? Like, isn't the point of being cast on a Bravo show that you're an eccentric, out of touch person who's, like, probably has some kind of substance issue?
Like, it just is what it is, and then deciding who you know, I miss back in the days when yes, when people were just shitty on Maine, but also when we were just starting to shift into being more aware where it's like, "Oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be giving money to Mel Gibson to make more movies."
Yes! Oh, the sweet spot where we were, like, waking up a little bit, but we weren't, like, extreme. Yeah,
Waking
you're
up a
right.
little bit and saying, "Okay, maybe we shouldn't be allowing these bad people to continue to make money."
Yes. Ugh.
People who have done things that are very black and white, very
Yeah.
obvious, um, but now it's become something where those guys still get away with it.
Yes.
Look look who our president is.
Mhm.
You know, all of those men are still getting away with it, and they're getting away with even more. But meanwhile, the stuff that we like,
Mhm.
within it, we're all becoming so we're like, we police that so much amongst ourselves, and it's like,
You're
"No,
right.
maybe we shouldn't be focusing so hard on our stuff, and
Mhm.
maybe we should be keeping focus on the people who are still out there doing shitty things and getting paid for it."
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. Like, we obsessively focus on trying to weed out the good versus the bad. Like, is this pop star a good person or a bad person? I deem them a bad person because in 2013 they made a mistake and they did this thing and it's like and now you're a bad person if you engage them. And, like, the policing of strangers, like, making sure like, who are you listening to? Well, I don't like so and so said something bad 10 years ago. I don't know if I like that you're listening. Like, the policing of strangers is insane. But, like, yeah, you're right. Like, Mel Gibson, like, goes to the Oscars and, like, doesn't even give a fuck, and it's like, so we're obsessing over Demi Lovato, trying to figure out if we're
That's like,
allowed to
"You
listen to
guys,
Demi Lovato.
focus the fuck up." You know what it is? This is the
Focus
greatest
up.
focus the fuck up. Like, get around the red table. I'm calling you to the red table, kittens. Like, we need to focus on the right problems, and I f I think, like, look no further than the difference between Twitter and Threads.
I just got a pit in my stomach.
Twitter, we've got Nazis running around, living wild and free, becoming stronger because they
Mhm.
all agree on what they're cool with.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we're over on Threads arguing the most mundane,
My god.
stupid, like, and it's like, "No, no, 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 no. we are going to eat ourselves alive from the inside if we keep this up. We need to focus on the Twitter. We're taking down Twitter, not taking each other out in threads. That's what we need to do.
If you don't know what Dara is talking about, I implore you to go on Threads right now
It's hell.
and make any sarcastic comment. And when I say sarcastic, I mean it's raining cats and dogs. I'm talking like the most surface level Barney and Friends joke, and watch hundreds of strangers from around the globe get dopamine from telling you that it in fact cannot rain cats and dogs. Seriously, like it is the most humorless. Like it is absolutely insane to me what happens on that website. Like just people eating each other alive and like making like weird points that are not like a flex. Like, actually, it could never rain cats and dogs. Rain is created by precipitation. And it's like, oh my God.
Just popped in to say, and no disrespect, just popped in to say,
teacher here. I love when they give their credential. Hairstylist here. Like, okay.
It is the most joyless.
Car salesman here.
It is the most joyless website like on the internet. It is terrible.
I would maybe trade Perez Hilton drawing cocaine on my face and like cum dripping out of my mouth or whatever over an interaction with like an older white woman on Threads. Like it is, oh my God. If you haven't done it, don't do it. I'm telling you, it's like not worth it.
It's not going to feel like 2011 Twitter, okay?
No. You'll think that at first, but then you'll slowly realize that is not what it is, and it's vibeless. It is vibeless.
And with that
said,
an hour and a half long bonus episode.
Jesus Christ. Thank you guys for the questions, though. They were very thoughtful, very like well executed. Like those were awesome questions.
We love them. And we love our Patreon subscribees. And we've got an episode up there about Tracy Anderson and S Factor. So the striptease workout. So go subscribe
to the polls, girls. To the polls. Get your flirty girl fitness leggings on and go nuts.
Pokemon, go to the polls, okay?
We love you very much.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.